Hello, I'm back. Hexen, the magic man, is going to have to find the gems for his own studies. And studiology is. So, in the great spirit of study hall, go do your homework while you're watching this video. Oh yeah, we're going to have those centaurs again. It's going to be the cool sauce. Welcome to the cool side of the sauce. Where we have ranch on our Fritos and some other shit. Aha! The one stalker! We got him. Cut and print. What are you gonna do? Walk over that slime river? You probably can't, which means that leaves a tremendous advantage to me. Unless they projectile me. Oh wait, aren't these the guys that... No, that's next hub. They don't seem to be shooting I mean, I guess some of them were, and I didn't notice, but I forgot about that. There is a subtle difference between how they look. The ones that shoot projectiles and the ones that don't. I've just forgotten entirely. Block! Block the magic! Electrocute the shield block. Yes, him blocking me is like, I have magic, so he blocks my magic. But then I have a magic blocker but then he tries to block that. So I go back and forth, not really getting anything, because he must not know how programming works. Back and forth, around it goes. Mushrooms go dead when they electrocute with fumes of fumes. Fluma, fluma, hey. Fluma, 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 ha. Yep. Men style. Alright, well, I froze him. I mean, I can't say much about that. I've done it so many times before now. And so many times afterwards, too. Reminds me of that joke by Mitch Hedberg, where he's just like, I used to smoke, I still do. Ah, yes, past tense trouble. Oh! A nice freeze. Very good freezing technology. Really getting the hang of that ice blast. Like, before I thought it was pretty much, well, shit. But you just have to know how to finagle with it. And I love saying finagle, so therefore I approve of this message. Freddy Got Finagled would make a much better title, I think. Or Frindled. You've seen that book about where a kid invents a word, and the teacher gets mad? Until at the end they all accept him and they add his word to the Webster dictionary or something. It's just like, yeah, that's how words work, right? Technically, yes. Not that it has to make any amount of sense. We also have references to what we do. You could use a blood scourge. Did he block my blood scourge? Good grief. Ooh. I love when you gore them so hard that their belongings just go flying. That has a great effect. You love to see it. I swear I'm not bored. I swear I'm not bored. I'm really... Don't worry, when we get to fancy-ass platform... Yeah, I guess this is the first project in a while, or maybe the first one, in which my commentary can only carry you so far. Not at least at all due to the length. But, you know, it just happens. Sometimes a game is less exciting, but is worth the journey, and that's one of these. You know, it's a little... be quite calm, oddly enough, for a first-person shooter. I guess some of that is the traveling, some of that is just the atmosphere, and yeah, that's about the size of it. Not to mention figuring out what to do. Who goes there? Oh, you're dead, I believe. But no, I'm just thinking like, man, let me do some more platformers so my commentary really sounds like... Yeah, I mean, if my commentary is reflective to how much I enjoy the game, I at least I'm not doing you a disservice. Like, I'm not going to fake it until I make it. I'm making it, and then you fake it afterwards, as if I had already done it. I don't fake it, you can fake it for me. Because a fake doesn't really matter who does it. It is just fake. I know what you're thinking. But what about all the subterfuge? Or what about people who can do forgeries? Not that kind of faking. Can you forge charisma? I don't think so. Also, that's a concept, anyway, that may or may not have a basis in reality, or it's just more like winning a popularity contest. That's not to say having that concern is valid. It's kind of like, well, luck, in that sense, where it's technically a thing that is real, but how much does it actually mean? Or it's like, not something you necessarily control. That's more an accurate thing to say. Yeah, a concept that you can't control, so you're not even sure if it's real. Pretty much. It's like in between what is abstract and what is imaginary, but is very real. Yeah. Did I ever tell you that Alice in Wonderland is based on a dude who was mad about the new math when it came to, like, negative numbers? So he decided since math was too, well, let's just say milquetoast. That was the, what do you call that? That was like the common core complaint of its day. Where we came up with these negative numbers and imaginary numbers. And he was like, fine, I'll just make a book about how much nonsense this is. And then he made Alice in Wonderland. That Lewis Carroll guy. Hilarious, because I'm pretty sure he's Christian as fuck too, so, I mean, yeah. Some things really don't ever change. Really? I mean, your complaint about it could be that it's not realistic, it's negative numbers. Yeah, I get that. But maybe you don't understand how logic has to go in between that which is and which isn't in order to understand the whole... Yeah, exactly. Sometimes in logic to thrive, it needs to understand what isn't possible. And that's why we have negative numbers in mathematics. Maybe that was his whole problem. That's my whole problem with people who don't like listen to me ramble on, because I'm just like, you know, I have to go through nonsense in order to get through the sense. Okay. I have to go through the obvious before I get to the obscure and well-meaning, or not well-meaning, the wise shit. Also well-meaning. It's all well-meaning. So, just saying, man. Shit never changes. Guess maybe I'm alone on that, or, you know, if I'm not alone on that, the people who are with me on that are just being alone because we're all trying to be productive, which ironically makes us alone. Whoops! I've taken the entire planet! The Chaos Emerald planet is mine. Welcome to Sonic Colors. I'm your host. I'm not playing Sonic Colors yet. Oh, I totally could. You know what? Sonic Colors LP. That is... If I could do Sonic LPs, that, Generations, Forces. You know, if I ever put in that kind of time. But it's more likely than you might think. I really need to work on getting those Sonic LPs out there. It's just the arcade nature. I've been through this discussion multiple times. Anyway, blow the shitter up! Don't let him spawn while the other shit is just spawning. There ain't enough room for the 2,222 of us. That's a big number. Like I said, this town ain't big enough for the 2,222 of us. But this city is. Come live here. You'll regret cutting your Wild West funding for this. Ah, yes. Now you see him, now you don't. Now you see him, now you don't. Now you see him, you don't see... I don't see shit. I still like that effect. Oh shit, I gotta see how that looks on the source board though. That must be fucking confusing. How does he do it? The fun part is you try looking at what happens to the map when this is going on. It's exactly as bullshit as doing in Duke Nukem. Well, actually, Duke Nukem 3D even more so. I'm so amused by how non-Euclidean Duke Nukem 3D can be. So, I enjoy the fuck out of it. Like, it still needed Doom for it to exist, but it's a better engine as a result. It's like, aha! This is what we're talking about with this weird negative math shit and stuff. It's like, yeah. You make the not real seem real at that time. What you gonna do about it, sucker? Apparently nothing. Sometimes there is logic and nonsense, and sometimes there is nonsense and logic. Do not reject the lack of reality so easily. I want to go to the other place. I'm done here, baby. Take me to the Forsaken Outpost. Oh, wait, no, that's Hub 4. Well, take me somewhere. Take me home to some other place where my jokes are witty and I don't give a rat's face. Okay. Je ne sais quoi. Magnum opus. Modus operandi. My raison d'etre. All of the above. Cogito ergo sum. Veni vidi vici. All the ancient memes. All of them! He came, he saw, and he caught him right there in the jaw. He was not a Roman emperor. He was something else entirely. He was Caesar 2.0! No. The Neo-Roman Empire is in danger. The Neo-Carthaginians have brought their cyber elephants! Yeah. You know, the Roman Empire did have a rival empire at one point. I did a whole fucking presentation on it, too. I thought it was so cool. I'm just like, wow, it's like a ROM-hacked Roman Empire. A Roman hack, if you will. Yeah. I feel like if the parts of school I remember are the presentations, I might have done it right. It's like I could remember all the socializing and whatnot, but you know, I've been around too much. It's just like, I feel like not staying in any one place has prepared me for the chaos that is the internet. That's not a good thing, necessarily. Oh man, I love this level with the boxes! Yeah, we're gonna be freezing some mages in box country. Well, they hit each other. You bet I'm gonna be freezing the mages when they spawn out of the Heresiarch's asshole. Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen. Oh yeah, with the Heresiarch, you can just use the number. You can just use your main weapon and not have to worry about shit because it's hit scan, and he can't block it. So if you have the patience, just keep using it. But if you want to not wait as long, wait for him to stop blocking and then, you know, go to town. Blah 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 blah. Dark metamorphosis. Blah. Yeah. Castlevania LPs, anyone? Yeah. Dark Fantasy. Oh, shit balls. I really love these projectile effects. Whee! Here comes the snake magic. Here comes the magic. Here comes the cowboy. Here comes the boy cow. Here comes the rattlesnake. Here comes somebody. Dun, 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 dun. Obscure puzzle solving. That's the way to go. Then you open doors and you... Wait. There's the other magic man. He was firing from across the street. Well, he's not going to be my neighbor. My neighbor who died of colon cancer. The best neighbor. Won't you be my colon? Okay. Kind of sad though, because dude was very self-conscious about his body. To an almost like body image dysphoria degree. Yep. Mr. Rogers is the one thing people can agree on to be legitimately a good guy, like more than any other good guy out there. Just to say, how can you hate Mr. Rogers? It's impossible. Impossible! I like when people say they're fun-loving, because then I'm like, yeah, I'm fun-hating! I like slow runs on the beach. Who gives a shit about beaches? Although many me thinks that kind of pick up on it is just the small talk equivalent of how every rom-com opens up, because that was a reference for how we thought dating was people faking it in a movie. Shitballs. Yeah, I took another planet. Soon I'll have the entire solar system. All 8 out of 9 out of 8 planets. It's the 8-9-8 serum. What about that other shit? What about Nerbu? No one gives a shit about Nerbu or that Planet X or whatever the fuck. But would that be the ninth planet? I don't know. Outer space is weird. There's so much shit in outer space, and there's not a damn fucking thing we can do with it. You know what? If we can't colonize planets, can we at least start mining them? Surely this will end in terror and stuff. But no, really. Mining planets, that's gonna have to be how we do this from now. If we can travel fast enough. Otherwise, we have to agree on who gets what, because, you know, it takes so long to do space. It takes so long to do space stuff that every government changes within that amount of time. And we don't even know if they're on the same page by then. You know? What do you do about shit like that? It's like your president's changed 10 times while the shit's coming back from getting images of Pluto. It's like, oh, finally! Who ordered this? I don't remember anymore, sir. It was like 1,000 years ago. How do we even know how long that was? I don't know. I just know it couldn't have been anyone. No, obviously it was time-traveling aliens! That's why those ancient astronauts and blah, 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 you know. I like the stupidity of that, or I like how, like, balls on head stupidity that is, because it's like, you know, that assumes we were never intelligent to some degree when we were ancient. Yes, we were. The only reason we seem more intelligent now is because we have the history to back a lot of our shit up, or at least in terms of science. In terms of science, anyway. So as long as you have all those old journals, you know, we're just about as smart as we were back then. I don't know if we got... I would say we just had more knowledge than we did back then, not that we got smarter. But that fluctuates too. Just one cog in the machine of life, which I raged against. 7 of my dusts did, or 7 dust, or avenge sevenfold. The 7 is up to you. The best 7. The S Club 7? Oh, no, you did not. Okay. Next time you tell me you watch Zoom. That's what I thought of when people would show me the Zoom platform, like, oh no, the Zoom children, they're back. No! It's like an improv thing for children. That's basically what that was. They're surprisingly talented, though, so I can't really complain. It's just... wasn't... I don't know, there's a lot of shit I witnessed as a kid that I didn't really care for anymore. It's not... I don't even think it's just like, we're up. Like, some of my taste changed. Some of them did. I'll still watch, like, 90s cartoons. That's not gonna stop. As long as they're, like, action figure looking. You know? So, like... yeah, just watch. How is that new 97 X-Men show doing, by the way? Like, the only weird thing about it was them keeping some voice actors and then I think changing another one. Where it's just like, you know, you don't have to pretend. But it's not as if that doesn't happen in cartoons anyway, so I guess that's not that weird. But I don't know what they do with, like, the plot. Like, do they just pick it up where they went off? Couldn't they have just done, like... The reason why we like 90s X-Men is not because it's from the 90s. It's because a lot of the plot remained coherent. And we almost had something like that going with Wolverine the X-Men. But then Disney bought Marvel, so it didn't get a chance to do whatever it was going to do. Even though it was kind of weird that Wolverine was taking the place of Cyclops, I did find that weird. But it was otherwise written quite interestingly well. And the second season was going to be... like, the first season was basically... all a reference to Days of Futures Past, and the second season they're going to do is going to be Age of Apocalypse. I'm like, damn it! We could have had that shit! Which means no more, like, every day we come close to having, like, a cable series, and it never happens. I'm telling you, man. I feel like cable has taken a lot of the things people don't like about 90s anti-hero and made them good. Because the idea is, what if someone actually fucking does something about shit for once? That's basically what it should be. Like, a heroic return to power fantasy, but with all the flaws of a Marvel character. That's what people want, or that's what I seem to want. What do people want? How do I know what all people want? Are you kidding me? I barely know what I want. To desire is such a fleeting expectation of fleeting desires and lustful appetites. Try to remember lust isn't always about sex either. Just remember that. Bloodlust is a thing, for instance. So if you're crazy about violence, you probably have lust. Like, that's not an angry thing. That's just you going berserk kind of lust. So, anything dealing with desire, basically. Essentially. Can be considered lust. It's not just a sex thing. Shut up. Much like how sloth is not just a literally not moving. If you've ever been lazy in the mind, or you just go with inertia, that's sloth. So like if you work a dead-end job, maybe you think you're not lazy, but no, that is mental laziness, I'm afraid. Same with greed. Greed does not have to be about literally cash. There's other types of greed. I guess some of it could be like as simple as stamp collecting, but you know what I mean? It's definitely a kind of hoarding sort of thing. So basically, if you're a Smog the Dragon like myself, I'm starting to wonder if I should just take up people's acting off. I don't mean like for acting, I mean for voice acting. Doing actual acting would actually be harder for me, because I have to figure out how to emulate facial expressions on the spot and stuff, and that's not really going to work out for me, necessarily. So I'm better off being a voice actor if I do anything in the acting realm, I think. I mentioned that because I haven't looked at this casting call club thing in a long time. I'm just like, you know what? If people want me, they can look for me. Instead of just constantly looking for my next big break, I'm just going to keep doing what I do. Never mind looking for it. You know, maybe I don't need to look for it. It involves convincing too many people when I could just be fine. Well, who knows? Maybe my luck will change. I feel like my luck is changing. Some people might think I have the patroness of, well, a wolf. And you're not wrong. Try to remember that I made that name purposely generic. You know? My patroness is more like the axolotl, if I had to guess now, based on a number of factors. That implies a lot if you know anything about the axolotl, actually. So, basically, for a while being trapped in youth, and now finally just all of a sudden going full-on adult out of nowhere. So, going from man-child to child-man, or really neither. It's like, instead of just being too young, and then you act like an adult, or being adult, and it's like, who cares now? I just want to be me! How did we get here? How did we get here? Nonsense gibberish, man. Nonsense. Oh God, thank Jesus, I think I'm done with this video. I thought that was going to last longer than it could have. Honestly, as long as I'm able to talk, because otherwise I'd be like, oh no, where all his videos go? He needed to take a rest, or his mouth was going to fall off. See you next time when my mouth doesn't fall off.